So let's get into the signs, because girl, there will be signs. So here is the truth. You can grow hair, but that does not mean that it's growing healthy. I feel like I already knew that, but I learned the hard way that it can quickly turn left if things are not done correctly. Like when I skipped trims a little too much and the signs started to show up in my hair. If you feel like that your hair is growing, but you're not getting past certain lengths, or you feel like that your hair is not really progressing, this video is definitely for you. Or if you feel like that you do know that you need to trim, but you are traumatized, this video is also for you. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down what I noticed, what I did to fix and gain confidence after I had a bad cut, and how I'll be maintaining my hair growth from this point forward. And if you're not subscribed to this channel and you're new here, hello, my name is Shawntas, and on this channel we love hair and we love self-care. So make sure that if you like that type of content that you subscribe down below, and don't forget to like this video. And if you are clicking on this video, again, you're one of the people who have been here forever, and thank you guys so much for clicking on another video. Okay, so first we're going to talk about a little bit of my challenges, because I feel like that this is really important when I'm telling you guys like a little bit about how I got past certain stages in my hair growth journey. It's not always rainbows and sunshines. No matter what, it's just not going to be that. For the longest time, the subject of trims was so traumatizing to me, and if you have been subscribed to my channel, then girl, you know exactly why. I mean, I've never liked cuts, but if there are two things that made me hate it even more, it would be these last few cuts that I got. After going through several challenges with my hair and then finally growing it back and reaching one of my goal lengths, which was butt length. I already told you guys this in a short that I did several months back, that I wanted to reach that goal. And that was because I had previously reached butt length back in 2021, and I cut my hair and I wanted to reach that length again. So I did reach that goal length, but this time it was a little bit different. I was pretty much convinced that as I finally got over those hurdles of growing my hair and things like that, trims were not about to compromise my entire hard work that I did. So I figured I was good. I figured that I'm not going to be getting cuts or anything like that that are going to pretty much set me back, because I had already been set back prior to growing my hair this long, and I just wanted to make sure that I did not do that again. And if you guys are so confused, I'm going to leave the video down below where I talk all about my horrible cut, and then I'm going to also leave the video down below where I pretty much tell you guys what I did to like get past that. But back to my story, I felt like that I was good, but what I didn't realize is that I was actually growing my hair. It was growing very long, but in the midst of it all, I was pretty much letting things get a little bit too far. And girl, my ends were starting to break. It was actually happening slowly but surely. And when I finally went to the hairstylist, I was pretty much told by the cosmetologist that my hair was long, but I would have to cut my hair. And she called them holes that were in the ends of my hair. And what that is when your ends look pretty thin and stringy and uneven. And literally what was happening with my hair was that breakage and growth were kind of like being intertwined together. And of course, that breakage is going to start to hurt your actual growth progress. So my hair was long, but there were some parts that was experiencing that breakage. That is when I realized I had probably let this get a little bit too out of hand. I probably let this go a little bit too far. And that is okay. Like, I am not here to be your perfect hair princess on the internet. Like, that's not even realistic. So I am here to tell you guys the signs that I was ignoring, basically, and things that I can pretty much tell you so that you don't have to go through that or experience that. Or if you are experiencing that, you can kind of get a little bit of intel on what to do when you see those type of signs. Because for me, it's not always about just growing hair. It's about retaining your hair, and it's about keeping it healthy. That's just my personal importance, and to a lot of people who watch my channel, that's important to you. So let's get into the signs, because girl, there will be signs. Okay, so these are the signs that I noticed, and maybe you guys can relate to it. Let me know in the comment section if you've ever experienced any of these signs. First things first is when you need that cut and it's gone too far and you start seeing that your ends are a little bit thinner. Towards the ends of your hair, it's a little bit thinner than the rest of your hair. That's an indication that it's time for your hair to get a trim. Also, when you start to notice like holes or gaps in your hair, I personally didn't notice this. The stylist had to actually spread my hair out to show me. She said that they were very subtle. They weren't like super noticeable, but they can become super noticeable if I would have had let it gone a little bit further. So this is something that I did not actually catch. And she just pretty much spread my hair out, as you guys have seen several times. I popped this picture up and she let me see those little holes or gaps in my hair that pretty much showed that my hair was starting to, like, the breakage was starting to try to rise up to like the healthy hair. I actually figured that the way to notice with this is that when you run your hands through your hair, it should all be even. It shouldn't be like super thin at the ends. Like, your ends are not going to always be extremely full like the rest of your hair, especially if you have thinner hair, so don't mistake that for what I'm talking about. Okay, so the next sign, and this is the one that I experienced and that was actually happening to me, and that is when you detangle, you're feeling so many snags at the end of your hair. That was happening to me a lot. I was feeling snags, and I told my hairstylist that, and I was like, okay, because she asked me like, did you notice this, that? And I'm like, no, I haven't noticed that, I haven't noticed that, didn't notice that. But I did notice that when I was brushing my hair, it would get like really tangled or like it would snag. And she said, okay, that is another sign. Of course, that next sign is going to be if your ends are split. So if you look at your ends and you notice that they're starting to like split so many different ways, I've started to notice that, like, I say maybe like 2 months before going to the hair salon to get my hair cut, I looked at my ends and I'm like, okay, some of these hairs are splitting. And that is an indication also that it's time for you to get your hair cut. And you don't want to let that go for too long, because that's going to start to go up to your healthy hair. Okay, so the last sign that I want to put in here is if your hair feels super dry and frizzy. That is another sign that your hair probably needs to get a little bit of a trim, or you probably just need to like go to the salon and get like a refresh or just reset your hair. This sign is more for people who have dry hair, and it is always dry. Like, they, no matter what they do, they experience this just dry, brittle, lackluster hair. That can sometimes be an indication that, one, you probably need to like reset your hair. So let's talk about why skipping these trims too much will hurt your hair. If you are skipping trims a little bit too much, like just a little bit too much, then it can definitely hurt your growth, because that unhealthy hair that needs to go, it's gonna start to affect your healthy hair. So of course, you're not going to be able to grow long, healthy hair. Now notice I'm always saying long, healthy hair, because you can grow your hair long. That is not what we're talking about in this video. We are talking about long, healthy hair. I just wanted to make sure that I talk about that, because when you skip those trims, those split ends do not just sit at the bottom. They will start to travel upward. So instead of just, you know, needing half of an inch cut off your hair when you go to the salon, you'll eventually start to need to lose several inches of your healthy hair, which we don't want, because that's going to set you back on your journey. Now for me, I loved it. Like, I was like, yes, I invited that cut because I wanted a cut anyways. I went into the salon wanting some type of layer cut, and that was something that I decided before I even knew about the breakage or whatever. But that was me. I thought that protecting my hair and not getting, you know, trims was actually saving my length, but at the end of the day, it doesn't save your length, and it makes you have to cut actually more. But if you keep up with your trims, you won't have to cut off so much, you know, when it's time for you to get a trim again. I still don't say to have one of those strict schedules where you're like cutting your hair every, I mean, I've heard like some really crazy cutting schedules. I personally don't think that like you should go that far, and I feel like this is where the trauma happens because you will go to stylists that try to tell you like, oh yeah, you need to come back in like 6 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever, and you start to cut off actual length. I feel like what helped me to be more confident and getting cuts is, one, to realize that it's okay to, you know, change it up and switch it up sometimes. Two, to go to someone that just gets you. Like, the stylist that I went to, she was not trying to push some strict cut schedule on me that only benefited her. If you guys know what I mean, if you know, you know. Even if you go like 2 times a year to get your hair cut, just make sure that you kind of keep it up a little bit. Like, don't let it all the way go to the wayside. And I can respect a stylist that does that. And I like that she didn't really push that on me. So I'm now prepared to come back to her. And she didn't even have to push it on me. Me personally, I don't like when someone tries to push stuff on me. It feels very salesy. I don't like it. You're pretty much, I feel like that you're trying to tell me what to do. Like, I just don't like it. If you are like that and you feel as though like you just kind of want that freedom to decide when you want to do stuff, then you should probably go with a stylist that is more laid back like that. That stylist still is telling you what's healthy for your hair. They're still giving you the blueprint on how to like make sure your hair is healthy, but they're considering your feelings as well and how you want to do things, and they're not just like pushing a strict schedule on you. Okay, so let's talk about the transformation of what I'm doing now. Okay, so the good thing is that once I got my cut, my hair bounced back. I mean, I feel like that I'm already getting growth. As I mentioned in my last video, I feel like that trims are going to now be a part of my routine. I used to look at it as outside of my routines, and I think that's why I will let it go so far. So I think that now I'm going to just have it as a part of my routine, and it will protect your length in the long run. You guys are gonna see my hair is about to be long. My goal, I'm gonna tell you guys, my goal is to get it below butt length. I just want to see if I can reach it. I feel like that if it's too long, that's a little bit too much, but I want to get it below butt length. Last time my goal was butt length. I reached it. The time before that in 2021, I reached butt length. Now let's go beyond. Let's see if we can go beyond butt length. Okay guys, so it is a completely different day, but I thought that it would be good to show you guys where I am right now when it comes to my length. Hair is straight right now. My silk press is getting very, yeah, it's almost time for it to wrap this thing up.
Same conviction, convinced I never need a fixin'. Yeah, that could really.
Hopefully you guys can see that. I have on black right now, but this is the length right now. It's right here, like, I guess, I don't know where that length is. I don't know what that is, but that's the length I am right now. I don't know what it's called. It's right there. You guys can see. So we are gonna see. I kind of want to put myself on a challenge, but if I did a challenge, I would want you guys to do it with me. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to think of what I want to do. But that is where my length is right now. Just wanted to pop this in. Also, let me know down in the comment section, what is your hair goal? Even if it's not an actual length, some people's hair goal is just to have more moisturized hair, or for their hair to actually thrive in the wintertime, because a lot of people have an issue with their hair not thriving in the wintertime. It doesn't have to be a length, but what is your hair goal? Let me know down in the comment section. Definitely hope that this video, like me talking about my challenge, actually brought you a little bit of clarity when it comes to your hair routine, because that is so, like, I just like hearing other people's stories and like their journeys, because it'll help you. And it also gives me clarity on, okay, I'm experiencing that too. If she did it, I'm gonna do it too. If you feel like your hair is not growing, take a closer look at your ends. Look at like the overall picture of your hair. And sometimes you just need a second opinion as well. So find you a good natural hairstylist that can kind of go through your hair with you and like really put in that time to tell you what you're doing right and what you're probably needing to clean up on. And remember, length without health is not real progress, in my opinion. So if you've been skipping trims and, you know, kind of letting things fly by the wayside, this is your sign to not let that get too far. So yes guys, hope you enjoyed this video. I will have all the links down in the description box for you guys so you can just easily click. I'll have my healthy hair routines down below as well if you want to follow along. Do not forget to follow me on my social media. I'll have all of that right here or somewhere up here. Also, don't forget to turn on the notification bell if you do subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss any of my uploads. And yeah, thank you guys so much for clicking on another video, and I will see you guys in my next one. And bye y'all.
I wish I saw what she saw. I wish I knew what she knew. I love how she just don't. But sadly, I've outgrown. I know I'm still that girl, but I don't know how to show it. Like she knew, she knew.